So, was called to a gentleman who had sadly hit this duck with his car when she'd run out in front of him. Sadly, 3 little ducklings got killed. He waited and called us. She's got injuries to her neck, but hoping she may be okay. But I couldn't find her ducklings, so I spent quite a while with the gentleman looking for the ducklings. They were stuck in a bramble bush, so between all of us we managed to just rescue them, hand grab them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for her. You know how she gets on.
Hi Mary. We've got another duck and some ducklings. Let's see. Ducklings, I think they're going to go incubators here. Yeah.
Whilst the ducklings went into the incubator to warm up, Maru began assessing their mother. Sadly, she was very weak.
For a second, I'm going to clean the incubator, I'm going to put in the incubator, I'm going to ask the guys to start setting something for these guys, and then we deal with her. I'm going to put her in an IV.
By inserting an IV, Maru could give the ducks some much-needed fluids. Luckily, no broken bones were detected, so once complete, she was placed into an incubator to warm up and get some rest.
So now what we're going to do is we need to weigh the ducklings. It's going to be so much fun.
Each of them?
Yeah, and we need to mark them. So I'm going to bring something to mark them.
Okay.
To enable Maru to distinguish the ducklings from one another, each one was marked with nail polish.
Turquoise. Nice one. Oh, this one is fine. Oh my God, you're small. 24.
Once complete, the ducklings were placed in their new home to get some much needed food, warmth and rest.
So this is the duck that came in the other day with, believe it or not, 8 ducklings, and it's the end of November. She was really collapsed and very bad. She's looking much better now, but she doesn't want to eat. So we're going to put her up on the top pond, and if she behaves well up there and starts eating, we'll introduce her ducklings back, and if she takes them, which she should do, that's a good story finished. You're going to be a good mum. All right, you calm down. All right, my baby, come on then. Come on, let's get you up there. If you're all right in here, then you can have your babies. We just want to make sure you're happy. You've got food and some greens. And you see what you're going to be like in there. All right? And a bit more water, and if you settle down, you can have your babbies with you. All right? How's that? You can be with your babbies. All right. Yeah, that's better. How's that? I pooed. Yeah. That's better, sweetheart, isn't it, eh? So Mum's settled in really nicely. She's having a drink, having a bit of food. We're going to bring her ducklings up in the cage just to see if she calls to them and they call to her. And if they all seem happy together, then obviously they can all stay together and she can look after them. Now, is she going to call for them? Are they going to call for her? Look, there's your mum, babies. You want your babies, eh? I'm just looking to see if there's any sort of recognition of the mum for the ducklings. They're doing the odd little tweet, but we might just put one in there and see what happens, because it's very cold water, and if we have to go and get it, it's Laurie's job, or actually Lana's here, she can go in and get it. Let's just see if she'll take one of them, see what they do. She's not taking a lot of notice of them at the moment, which is not worrying me, but it's not. I would have thought she would have been a bit more attentive to be with them. Okay, so there's 2 more here. Let's just see what these do. I think it worries me slightly, Lana, is if she's not that fussy with them, she might not. She's having a bit of a go at the moment. You can't leave them on the water that long because they'll get too cold, so if she doesn't take them off in about 15 minutes, I think we need to rethink it.
The one in the middle looks like he's getting a little bit wet.
Yeah, he's getting waterlogged already. He's only been in there a while. At the moment, I don't. they're now getting quite cold. So we'll just push the ducklings up the other end. Go on, babies. I know they've gone with her, but she doesn't seem particularly fast, does she? Let's just very gently get the 3 ducklings. Okay. All right, Mum, I don't think you're particularly fussed to have your babies back at all, and they're very cold now, so they can go back in the warm. And the nice thing with having all these in the warm is they'll all make it, as opposed to in the wild they wouldn't all make it, so at least they'll go through. We'll get along, take them back and get them warm. They might need a bit of heat under them now. Well, we might try that again. I don't like the way she was with them. She was having a bit of a peck. She wasn't really trying to nurture them and get them in with her. But they were certainly getting cold in here, so we'll go and warm them up.
So these are 4 of the ducklings that we rescued because the mom was injured. Mom is ready for release, but we tried to put them with her yesterday and it didn't work out pretty well. So now we will release mom, but we will keep the ducklings till they are ready for release. We are just moving them to a bigger pen because they grow really fast, and that's what we're doing now.
Due to their growing size, the ducklings were split into 2 groups of 4 to give them the space they needed.
Right, Mrs. Duck, time to go home. Time to go home. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want you flapping around. Come on, here we are. Hopefully. You obviously want to go, because you don't like being here, do you? Right, in you go. There's a good duck. Good boy. There we are. So I'm with Liz, who's rescued the ducklings and the mum. Ducklings are actually in the brambles just beside us here. So Liz had to go wading through brambles to get the ducklings. I'm going to sort of aim it this way a bit and then...
There's quite a bit of tree here, isn't there? We could do it from the other side.
I don't know, put it here, keep it down and it hopefully just fly off, you reckon?
Right.
Go down here in this corner bit.
I'll leave you to do that. I would like
Happy
to
with
get a
that?
video of it.
You're going to wave it goodbye. Come on then, Mum. You've got no babies now to worry about, so you can go and do it all over again. Go on. Now we've opened the door, you don't want to go, do you? Come on. There you go. There you are, Mum. You know where you are? Yup. Having a drink. Very happy. Thank you very much. Very relaxed, Liz. So, Mum's back on the pond. This is the mum that came in that was in a really bad state with the 8 ducklings off this pond. She'd been hit on the road here and the ducklings were the other side of the road. We didn't think she was going to make it, but after now, just over a week, she's back where she was. We tried to introduce her with the babies, but she didn't want to know, and she started pecking at them, so that wasn't a good sign. So now she gets to go and do it all over again.
It was a close call, but thankfully, this mother duck is back home in one piece. As for her ducklings, they'll be in safe hands until they're ready to fend for themselves in the wild. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel by pressing the red button and make sure you hit the bell to get notifications of our latest content. If you want to help us save wildlife, please donate. Every £1 you give will help us to save more wildlife.